Perfect.
STAKK Nation, welcome back to the channel. You know, Bitcoin holders are very clear on the purpose of Bitcoin and are actively engaging in a vicious battle against the bank and central planners. On a mission, Bitcoin is changing lives of people across the globe for the better, financially, intellectually, and in many other ways that we are not describing here. Right. Um, at the same time, we know that Bitcoin's biggest competitor has been in a vicious match to compete with Bitcoin. The Ethereum squad.
The mother of all shitcoins.
Yes. The garbage coin. I don't know why for some reason whenever I hear that phrase, mother of all shitcoins, I just see Vitalik heads pops up in my head.
Oh, sure.
I don't know why that is.
I've lost so much money in that space. Yeah. It's not a joke.
Well, look, man. For a coin that is supposed to be Bitcoin's most fierce competitor, right? The beta version of Bitcoin, as they promised it in the beginning, the Ethereum community seems always to be in this state of uncertainty. When you talk about Ford, these guys have just jumped into the U in Ford, and they just live in there in that uncertainty.
There's always a story to be told.
Upgrades upon upgrades, right? So, with many people unsure whether Ethereum is a security or not, we know that the SEC will keep dragging that one down the road as long as they want to. They also wonder how decentralized it is. And of course, right now, they have a new carrot or a new something to be looking forward to.
Decentralized, so they say.
Yeah, so they say. So they say. I mean, look, if you have to be sitting there and debating whether it's decentralized or not, I think it is very clear. Okay? Now, we have the Shanghai upgrade coming up, where these guys are now going to be releasing the funds which they've been holding hostage for the longest of time.
We are going to China, people.
Exactly. Now, the first question, even though I've not looked into this, I know I've not looked into this, but I think I have a general idea of how this went down. If you understand how these things work, and when they say decentralized protocol, right?
Mm-hmm.
The idea is that if we're going to be making a change, this is going to be put up for a vote, and there's going to be a consensus to come to this agreement. So, for example, if a shady transaction was happening on the Bitcoin network, you would require a bunch of nodes to agree that, wait, this shady transaction is actually the right one and is the longest chain, and then that is what the blockchain will move forward with. I'm wondering, we heard a lot about this merge coming up. We heard a lot about this 2.0, but we never heard a lot about this moment in history where this now decentralized voting system happened, or this event took place, and all the ETH people were like, yes, this is what it seems to me like. The more sold it versus having a decentralized process to agree to this 2.0 thing. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I would say, like back in the day, 2 years ago, when we were in the Cardano space and we knew everything going on in that space.
Yeah.
We knew a lot about what's going on in the Ethereum space. We've not been studying up in that space for over a year plus now, because we're just not interested in all the stories that they have to tell us, because you don't have to deal with the stories in the Bitcoin space. So for me, I don't have enough details to start bashing them, but I just know the facts, right? You said that you were decentralized, but you're so centralized that the staking pools or the validators is very extremely controlled by the very few.
Exactly.
That already tells you that it's not decentralized. You are fully managed or sponsored or vested into by the World Economic Forum, the three-letter words, all those guys. But you gotta ask yourself, where are you getting all these funds from? You get to print money out of thin air, just like the central banks. Those are all the things that we are trying to get away from, to relieve or free people from the control of their funds.
Yeah.
And I think Vitalik himself saw the potential of Bitcoin and thought that it could compete. That is why he went and created Ethereum. But everything that you're doing on Ethereum can be done on Bitcoin. So why did he come up with Ethereum in the first place? Again, human greed, human jealousy, and that is why we have Ethereum. And this is what's wrong with the current central banking system. That is exactly what screwed up FTX. It's just so mental greed, human nature factor, and that is what Bitcoin is trying to solve with mathematics. Get the human factor out of it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of human factors, this is, I would say, essentially how we drew towards Bitcoin. Because you mentioned earlier that we, back in the days, we were studying up on things like Cardano. We're heavily into Cardano. I think at some point we're giving away $500 in Cardano. That reminds me, I need to go remove that banner. We're studying away Cardano and all the other garbage coins, as well as Ethereum. I think it speaks for itself when we got to a point where we decided to stop studying those, where we felt like it is okay to stop studying those. We are not going to miss anything, but we could not stop studying Bitcoin. I think that speaks for itself as well. Now, the next move for Ethereum here is this Shanghai upgrade, where they're going to now get this thing to a point where everyone's funds will be released. If you remember, the last upgrade they had to do for the merge, okay, there were a lot of postponing or rescheduling of when that was supposed to be released.
You were also supposed to get your Ethereum released back to you during this last upgrade.
Exactly.
But at the last minute, a decision from the Most High, kind of like looking up to Jerome Powell to say, "Oh God, so are you going to increase the interest rate or not?" Something is going on in the Ethereum space.
It was a decentralized decision. Okay, one person made the decentralized decision. That's all it is.
How's that decentralized?
It's decentralized to the people that he's sending the message to. You see, one too many. It's absolutely insane. Makes no sense. Does not work. But, I think, look, if you know the track record of Ethereum, you know that this is definitely going to be delayed, right? Now, I want to just roll this back a little bit here, and let's just touch on some reminders. This is supposed to be competing with Bitcoin. From day one, Bitcoin has been operating as it was intended to this day, and it has not skipped a beat yet.
24/7?
I think Ethereum is closed on Sundays. Okay.
With them gas fees.
Yeah. And big bankruptcy with those gas fees. Okay, so Bitcoin has been moving as intended. It's been doing the work. It's changing people's lives daily. Okay. I don't think that it makes sense to put people's funds on hold. Are you putting a hold on changing people's lives? Are you putting a hold on the progress that you claim Ethereum is supposed to be delivering? Now, of course, I'm pretty sure there are people who probably do not want their Ethereum to be locked down for so long. So now the question becomes, at the point where it is now possible to remove your funds, right? What are the what are the metrics that will be in place at that point in time? And what will be the effects of these coins being released? Would they release this at a point where the price is high up, so when people start dumping, it's not going to look so bad? Or would they could also release these coins and say, hey, we're going to do this in phases, so there'll be people who will get out first before others,
the elites.
This is something that I've envisioned. I see this kind of happening, but I could be very wrong on that one.
It's almost like CBDCs, right? Where you have the special people that can move big amounts of money.
Yeah.
And then you have the retail CBDCs.
Speaking of CBDCs, man, I think I have found a very good use case for that. Single mothers.
Oh, let's not go there. Please don't go there. Don't go there.
Listen, not all single mothers. Let me stop with that. Single mothers on child support.
Oh, Lord. It's the guys that will suffer for that.
No. No. The guys are suffering right now, my guy. Right now they're suffering. They're garnishing their checks 24/7. Okay, listen. Hey, I don't care if people get pissed off, man. It's just I'm just throwing out some
Facts.
ideas out there, man. I'm not like Mike Shkreli or something. I do not, you know what I mean? I'm just sharing my ideas. The government is the one making the CBDC. I'm just pointing in some directions and stuff, you know. It's not also actually this is not even my idea. I cannot take credit for it because there's one of those ladies on The View. She said something about, well, you know, there is all these arguments about women, um,
Women rights.
no, like single mothers who use the money to buy other things. No,
Hmm.
let's just go back to the topic at hand, okay? Because this is what it get wild. But if you want to know more about this idea, okay, there is a use case for CBDCs, and we can talk about it. Let's go back to
Ethereum.
Ethereum, okay? Um, because much like the radical version of the single mothers we're talking about,
Hmm.
Ethereum is on child support as well. Okay, that
Okay.
is what this lockdown of funds is. Okay, because what is going to happen when you can finally pull out your money? Who is not going to pull out their money, especially if it's in the profit? This is what I see. I see Ethereum crashing to the floor.
Oh, kind of weird.
It's like the floodgates.
I got a song. You're talking about single mother, you're talking about child support, and you're talking about pulling out.
Listen, Ethereum is a single mother. Bro, I'm dead. This video is going crazy.
Say.
Listen, as all of those things sound, that is what Ethereum is. A dirty party. Okay. So, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think will happen when they release this thing?
Number one, I'm just thinking Shanghai. Why did you name it Shanghai?
It's a dirt. No.
When Shanghai comes to mind, I think China. When I think China, I think of authoritarianism,
Yeah.
where basically they control everything. As we all know, recently with what happened with the old COVID lockdown, your money, your value has been on lockdown, just like they had the COVID lockdown in China. So the chances that you're going to be able to pull your money out in a Shanghai type upgrade, probably not. Probably still going to get locked down.
Yeah.
And when you do get released, it's gonna be the elites that get to enjoy or get the benefits of that first before you even get a chance to. Maybe it's gonna go through some what you call it, staking pools,
Yeah.
and the staking pools will now decide, or based on the amount of money that you have, X amount can be pulled at X amount of time. I've not read the documentation here. I'm just assuming.
Well,
So
no,
for
no. We don't even need to assume anything, okay? Share
Alright.
screen, sir.
Alright.
Okay.
Don't pull out on this one.
No, as a matter of fact, okay, I will tell you that the Ethereum community is thinking of pulling out. Okay?
No babies.
Because look at this. Have you ever had that moment? Maybe like you're messing with some chick and you're like, I really shouldn't be, but you know what I mean? Is that lukewarm feeling, right? But you're still in there.
The sex is good.
Because whatever it is that is keeping you, right? You're still there.
The sex is good. But then you have a baby that is stuck
Listen.
with child support.
Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Come on now. Ethereum is on child support.
Pull out, people. Pull out.
This is the Ethereum Reddit, okay? So I don't want to be the one saying it. Let's take it from the people themselves, okay? First of all, this is not even the original post, but as I was just perusing right now, look at this.
Yep.
My concern with staking is how it will be seen by regulators who are old and don't understand what it means to participate in governance. Don't think your staking if meets several of the Howey test points. Okay. Listen, man. This is the other thing about it. These people have twisted this Howey test. They're now just trying to reorganize the rules to
Move
fit
the
what it is.
goalposts.
They say people don't understand what a Howey test is. They don't understand what a security is.
They don't understand what recession is.
Y'all have lost your mind.
Yeah.
Y'all have lost your damn mind. This post was made by an ETH holder, okay, in the ETH community. And these are his concerns.
Speak.
It reads, is ETH an unregistered security? I own some ETH and not a BTC Maxi, so be respectful. First of all, you should be respectful to everyone. There's no need you should disrespect someone just because they're a BTC Maxi. This applies to BTC Maxis as well. Stop disrespecting people. We're all human beings. Y'all are freaking losing your minds in America, man. You cannot. There's no need to go too far to one side, bro. I don't get it. Anyway, do not disrespect the guy. He's letting you know that I'm on your team. You remember when the Bitcoin maxis attacked me because they thought my picture was an NFT? I wonder if these guys knew that high definition pictures existed before NFTs. Fucking clowns, all on the same line.
Oh,
Anyway, so be respectful. I've heard arguments from crypto skeptics and BTC lovers that ETH and all cryptos, except for BTC and unregistered security, let's focus on ETH for this post. There is a solid argument for ETH being an unregistered security. This is that lukewarm part I'm telling you about, right? Where you're thinking, I shouldn't be messing with this, but I'm still here.
I don't want to get her pregnant.
This person says there is a solid argument. He acknowledges, he or she, or alternative, 2022, right? 23, right? But he acknowledges that these are solid points, right? Vitalik held an initial sale, he said.
IPO,
right? Vitalik and the founders gave themselves coins prior to the initial sale.
Series A, Series B, Series C.
FTX.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What is that coin? FTT.
FTT token.
Yes, you print coin and give it to yourself. Where did the value come from?
Tin here.
If staking is an investment where the investing public anticipates profits.
Yeah, it's a lock-in period where you cannot sell your shares until after a certain time.
Exactly.
Usually when you get in the early stage of an IPO, you cannot sell.
There we go. It is an investment. It is a security.
Just pay the taxes, man. Just pay your taxes and get it over with. If you're gonna do Ethereum and all those other altcoins, trade them, make your money, get out.
Listen, when you look at Bitcoin, especially when you look at people who
this guy said this is called a pyramid scheme, bro.
What did you say?
This is called a pyramid scheme, bro.
Oh wow! Oh, that's cool. Listen, man. We did not have to.
Hey, we didn't say it, man. This is just Ethereum for folks doing this.
ETH is like one of those things that is driving itself into the ground. Okay? But I do not want to offend the ETH community, even though I really have. And I'm only saying that just because I wanted to say that line. Not because I really care. Okay? But here's the thing. I think that when this Shanghai update is finally out, ETH is going to dump. Okay? We'll see then if this thing is truly what they say it is. So far, if you look at the scoreboard, it has not put up one against Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently changing lives across the globe.
Yo, you're gonna still have the same people coming back during this bull market saying, "Oh, flipping in, Ethereum is gonna flip Bitcoin."
Bro, if I hear someone use that word, "they're flipping in," I would dedicate a video to you. No. Do not do that. Do not bring up the flipping thing again. I'm saying, I know who's gonna bring it up. Big boy.
Big boy crypto. That guy has lost so much credentials this last year.
He wrote a book.
Who's buying the book?
I want to buy one, bro.
Why? Don't give him the money.
We'll put it right there. We'll put it right there. So that one day, we'll be like, hey, that we can be like, you cannot say we didn't do anything for you, sir.
Talking about all the space. We are not dedicating it to any company, but just Bitcoin.
Well, it is what it is. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. As we look at the space, right, I think that there are many things that are a distraction to Bitcoin. This can be one of those things that is holding people back from reaching greatness, achieving that sovereignty and financial freedom sooner than they could. Okay? And I think when we look at it as well, it's not even proof of work anymore. It's now proof of stake and clearly controllable. Can be reversed, has been reversed before, right? This thing has been violated so many times. I do not see how it puts up any point against Bitcoin. But, I'm not just here to roast ETH. You can also roast Bitcoin. Let us know in the comments. Final thoughts, sir.
You mentioned something there during your closing point that I would like to follow up on. It's either you get the ability to store your value and gain your freedom back and actually hold your own money, hold your own value, or you have fun along the way and you trade and you make money and you enjoy the altcoin world. You can do both. But we're trying to preach the gospel to say that you can be so called rich buying the altcoin or be free and be able to hold your own value. Think about that when you're buying or thinking that you rather invest in those Ethereum based altcoins and not think about the importance of Bitcoin. We're not telling you not to do both, and we're not telling you just to do Bitcoin. We're just telling you there's one road, the less traveled road, that is the road to freedom, which is Bitcoin.
Okay. Well, on our next video, okay, we'll be talking about Vitalik and single mothers on child support. Nah, I'm kidding. Follow us.
Pull out!
What the fuck? Follow us on YouTube, yeah, of course. Share the video with your friends. STAKK on Twitter. I'm pretty sure Ethereum and all its single coins that were on child support, which got wrecked by FTX, are hanging out on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram as well, STAKK, and of course we are on Spotify. Barely, but we're working on that. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, present out.
Double O,